Good morning, everyone. It's Emma here from Scratch. I hope you're all doing really well this Friday. We have got a treat for you today. As you can see, I'm sat with Sam Marshall and her business partner, Keri Blue. Sam Marshall is a leading educator and beauty expert in the beauty industry under her business name, The Beauty Guru. And Keri is the founder of Hair Has No Gender. And together they offer transgender and inclusivity awareness training, which is really amazing for us because, as I was just saying, that Scratch have written a feature on transgender and drag inclusivity in our October issue. So this could not be more timely for us, and I'm very excited to chat to you guys today. So welcome, Sam and Keri.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting.
Lovely to meet you and lovely to see you. So I guess we could kick off with, why do you think it's important to be transgender aware and inclusivity aware?
Do you want to go or shall I?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, trans now is where, unfortunately, things like gay and black were like 20, 50 years ago. So although it's something that really we shouldn't have to teach people about, like how to treat another human, it's something that's very current, and it's something that not many people know about. Also kind of trans people people that identify as trans have always been around. It's just that now they're allowed to come out and mix with society and be themselves. So what we need to do is kind of recognize they're there. And then really understand what we can do in our businesses to make them feel welcome, really. That's the main thing that goes with it. And then also there's now the extra one, just as we've got trans down, we've got non-binary people to think about and to understand. So that's something as well that I think is a subject that a lot of people don't get. So the more we can talk about it and educate people and also introduce non-binary people to them, then the better.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Keri, did you want to add anything?
No, I think Sam literally hit the nail on the head there. Like, it's just about educating people to understand, people like myself who do identify as non-binary, and through, obviously going through work and noticing that you may get discriminated and people don't even know they're doing it. So it's the importance of the trans awareness training is imperative, really.
Of course, and you were just kind of telling me beforehand, but I don't know if you want to tell the viewers here about your background, how you met, and how you started the training.
Yeah, sure. So I identify as gay. So I volunteer with the LGBT Foundation in Manchester, and through that I've met and mixed with lots of trans people. I worked with a company in Manchester called Born, actually, which are amazing. They're like a trans
I've heard of them. They look incredible.
They're fab. Paul is amazing. So in fact I did a video on how to paint your own nails back in the day. Don't judge on it because I'm not a nail tech, but I can paint a neat nail. So I started it through that I realized that people didn't have the knowledge. So as an educator, I found myself automatically educating people on my waxing training course and things like that. And then I thought, okay, let's do a course on it, because the demand was there and people were asking for it. But I think, as I said before, I'm not trans myself, and I have a lot of self-doubt. That's kind of my big thing. And I'm like, I'm not good enough. Imposter syndrome, as a lot of us do. So the course has evolved, and I've had all my trans friends helping input it, because I can try and speak for the trans community, but I'm not trans myself, so I need that support from it. So I was teaching it, I say for a few months. It really developed more through lockdown, and I started doing webinars. And then someone told me about Keri, and they were like, there's someone called Hair Has No Gender, and I was like, what is this sorcery? So I've searched for Keri and listened to their amazing interview on Modern Barber. It's really well worth a listen if anyone wants to find it.
Please,
and I reached out and I was like, you doing hair what I do in beauty, let's chat. So it took Keri forever to get back to me.
Very busy.
And I think that was in April that I messaged you, wasn't it? Oh no, it was before April, because then when we were meant to be talking, it was when we got released from lockdown.
So
that got delayed, and then eventually we had a call, and it just went from there, really. And then we found there was bits. I've learned so much from Keri, and then I think that Keri's learned bits from me.
Definitely.
It's about beauty and waxing, which is hilarious. And so it's gone from there. So now we run our webinar together, because power in numbers. And I am now involved in Keri's company, Hair Has No Gender. As you can probably tell, I'm the one that's like, do this, do that, why don't you do this? So we're kind of evolving all this. So my brand that I've created is called Beauty Trans Aware, but it's like the B stands out, so it's Be Trans Aware, but Beauty Trans Aware. And then Keri's is Hair Is No Gender. So we kind of collaborate at the moment on that.
Wow, I think together you two are just like a powerhouse duo. I think I'm so happy that this has come to the forefront. I think it is so important because, you know, beauty and hair is for everyone. Beauty and hair is for all, you know, there's no rules. Nobody should be excluded. So I'm personally so happy to do this with you guys. It's really, really rewarding. So Keri, I was just wondering if you could tell us a bit about your Hair Has No Gender and how important that is.
Sure. But yeah, like you just said, beauty and hair definitely goes hand in hand, and I think they're massive parts of people's identity. So if you're gonna be able to get your hair done feeling comfortable, and to have your beauty treatments as well, it's a no-brainer. But so Hair Is No Gender. So I'm queer, I'm non-binary, I'm from London originally, just relocated to Manchester, and basically before I became a barber, I lived in Brighton for a while. I wanted to get a haircut. I went to a barber shop and I was actually refused because I was identified at the time as female. So that really hit me quite hard, and it didn't happen once, it happened a few times. So then I was like, I'm gonna go back to London and train as a barber because I'm sick of people not cutting my hair or asking me inappropriate questions when eventually they do cut my hair. They're like, oh, so you're a lesbian, you this, you that. And it was so much focus on what's down there rather than what I wanted on my head. I just didn't understand. So I went to London, did barbering. And then when I was in I've been in a couple of barbershops now, and I've asked them to use my pronouns, and they just have a lack of respect. They're just like, well, you're a girl, you physically look like a girl, so I'm not going to do it.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so I guess through lockdown, I reached out to a lot of people online, and I basically just said, have you ever had discrimination when you've gone into a barbershop? Even, you know, a lot of my cis straight female friends, like, you know, all of them, they were still like, yeah, a lot of people say I'm too pretty, they won't cut my hair, they won't do this, you know, they're not insured. So I started a survey. I started to feel like I needed to create a safer space, or a place where people didn't get discriminated, which is, I could either start a whole new barbershop and it be a gender fluid one, but that just solves the issue for that one space that I'm in, rather than. And then I thought, well, let's start an educational platform. Let me educate barbers that are currently here, because we have such great hairstylists, barbers, beauty people. They're just not educated. So it's kind of like, how can you change your treatment list? How can you degenderize things? How can you make your staff and your public feel more comfortable in your business? And that's where Hair Is No Gender started rolling from. And then, I wrote into Modern Barber, and Charlotte's amazing there at Hairdressers Journal. She helped me push it, and it's where it is today. And then obviously meeting up with Sam, and that just kind of all merged really well. So there's big things to come yet.
Yeah, and then also we're now seeing we're getting championed by people like yourself, because your enthusiasm when you came on here, Emma, honestly, I was in a right grump this morning. I don't mind sharing with you, and you've literally lifted my mood so much. You're just so like. You've got the same passion. But we've got the British Beauty Council behind us. They've kind of endorsed us and said, yeah, everyone should do this course. We've got Marion Newman, who I'm sure you know very well, who is literally like, she interviewed us actually, and she's great because she's of that age where like trans people didn't really exist that much at all back then. So we're finding that people are kind of really getting, oh yeah, we do need this. It's something we need. Because we did find that as a bit of a barrier originally. Some people are like, well, I don't need that training. I know how to treat everyone. But it's kind of like, but there's probably a lot you don't know.
But you don't, exactly. And I think that's the problem, is that people think they're educated and they're not. And they need experts like yourselves to come in and show them the right way for how to do things.
Yeah, and I think it's important as a non-binary person, definitely, to have people come to us and say, actually, I want to learn more. Then you're becoming an ally, and that's so important.
Exactly. And I myself, I have the wonderful opportunity to attend your training on Monday, which I'm so excited for. I cannot wait. So I was just wondering if you could tell the viewers, you know, how can you sign up? Where can you find out about it, etc.?
Yeah, so you can sign up by finding either of us on social media, which I'm sure we can drop somewhere wherever this goes. It's a 2-hour webinar. At the end, we have a Q&A with some trans friends. So we always, and they volunteer, they come on and do it voluntarily. I mean, I might give them a few free treatments now and again, but you know, they come on and give their time to answer questions. So it's really good, because as I said before, I can't answer for the whole trans community. I can only tell them what I know. Sure. So we go through the trans umbrella and all the different terminology behind it, because a lot of people still say like some people still say transvestite, which we don't really use. And just the terminology and who is what, and, you know, are drag kings and drag queens trans, or who's intersex, what does non-binary mean, what's cisgendered, which is what I am. So that's where your brain matches your assigned genitals at birth. I have to think as well. I don't know if you know, when I'm saying the language, because I still think, am I saying that right? Am I getting it right? So it's a journey. What else do we go through? How to degender your treatment list, which is a biggie. What else do we do?
How to degender,
marketing, inclusive,
how to reach out to maybe trans and non-binary people, what to say, what not to say, the use of pronouns, how to regulate them and make them just very, very simple, rather than something quite frightening that different generations are born into. And, you know, like it's using a whole nother language, and it's kind of just being there and open to questions that people have for their businesses and for themselves.
Absolutely. So did you both did you both sit down and be like, well, Sam's going to say this, Keri's going to say this, or did you just merge all your knowledge together?
Obviously I said everything at the beginning because I'd written how I did it. So then I dish out the bits. Keri goes, I'll take that. So Keri talks about body dysphoria, which is obviously something that someone goes through when they're trans. And then I talk about boring things like the law and stuff. We go through bathrooms as well. That's another quite an interesting one.
Oh, brilliant.
And so we kind of just share it. And then there's a couple of interviews that I pre-recorded ages ago, actually. I think that was during lockdown 1. One with a trans male friend, one with a trans female friend. And they're kind of interviews about things they've gone through. And there's some shockers in the interviews as well, which I think are good. Some people get a bit upset by it, but you know, it's
eye-opening. You've got to learn about it, haven't you?
And also we found once people emotionally invest in this, then they get it. Because I said to we're telling you before, there was a gentleman that misgendered Keri yesterday, and I just said to him, just please come on our course, because you'll get it then. Because he's like, I don't get non-binary, and he kept just saying she, her, and I was like, it's they them. So I think if I got him on the course, he'd then be like, oh God, I'm so sorry I did that to you. I didn't realize the distress it caused.
Of course.
And that sort of thing. So that's why the knowledge is just so powerful.
Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us today. I think everyone can agree we all need more people like you. Everyone should take this course, because, you know, like you've been saying, even if you think you might know it all, you know, it's a likelihood you might not. So it's so important. And thank you so much for coming on and chatting with you today. It's been an absolute
You are
pleasure.
so welcome. And one key thing as well, which I've put on a post before, nails have no gender.
Yes.
Nails have no gender. A hand is a hand. So even more reason, especially I know this is for the nail industry, to to get on board with it.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much, Sam and Keri, for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
You are so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. I'm sure we'll speak soon on Monday.
Definitely.
Amazing. Take care. Bye.
Bye.